Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, it's me, the Solitary Toker, coming to you on a Tuesday evening around 7 o'clock. Man, it's so good to be home. Last week I flew to Michigan and my mom took my sister's family and myself to Rome for the week. And it was, Rome was great. It was unbelievably hot. It was like 75 degrees. I'm sorry, 95 degrees, and we were just all melting, and it was so hot. But being around my sister is so draining, and I'm not even gonna list all the stupid shit that she did, and, you know, I'm just gonna, but it's been almost 2 weeks without toking. Almost. So the vaporizer is heating up, and I am going to start toking. What I really enjoyed about Rome, I had been there before. I had been there twice before, actually, but that was when I was younger. And what I had learned about Rome this time, I'm going to clean my screen here. What I learned about Rome this time is that when the emperors in Rome's heyday, when a new emperor would come in and conquer the old emperor, or whenever a new emperor came to power, he wouldn't want to live or work or whatever or be around any of the old emperor's buildings, you know. If somebody wanted to build a church in the name of Saint Maria or something, they would simply fill the old building with dirt and debris, like rocks and pebbles and things like that. And then they would just build on top of it. And it's really just incredible because they would build the road up to where the new location was. And the knowledge that these old buildings were under the ground completely slipped out of time. And it wasn't until like one church was trying to investigate a humidity problem where it finally dug down underneath its floors and found another church on top of it, underneath it. So I found that really interesting. You know, they have a really stinky subway system in Rome because they literally can't dig anywhere underground without running into ruins. And there just isn't enough money to excavate it all. You know, Rome is such a massive city. It's like pretend that underneath New York City there was another New York City like that from the 1800s. You know, you go to dig a well and you run into a column. You know. And I found that really interesting. But my sister and my mom, they are the kind of people who they can't function unless their day is planned, unless they know what they're doing. Okay, we're getting up tomorrow and we're going to see the Colosseum. Then we're going to go see the Roman Forums. Then we're going to stop and have lunch. Then at this restaurant, you know, we didn't even leave any restaurants to chance. Every single restaurant for dinner was already booked and reserved. And now, true, we were 7 people. That's a lot to ask a restaurant to all of a sudden say, "Hi, can you fit us in?" But a good part of traveling is spontaneity. Is letting the wind carry you. Like when I went to Paris for my 40th birthday, one day I had seen everything that I wanted to see. I mean, of course, there's always so much to see. There's so many museums and art galleries, and you know. I had seen everything that I felt that I could see, and so one day I just got on the metro. And I just let the wind carry me, and I got off at a stop, and I walked around, and sometimes I hopped back on the metro, and I got off another stop and walked around, and on one small side street was a small magic shop, and it was like a museum and a magic shop at the same time, and the museum was all these like old-fashioned animatronic advertisements, like if you have a barber, you know, and his arm is moving and his head is moving and he's smiling, you know, an old-fashioned animatronic. And I got to watch a magic show in French. And I never would have had that experience if I had planned out every single speck of my day. Okay, so I think I left my, hang on one second. So I left my whip in the kitchen. Okay, so now, patching this. You know, and so when my sister and my mom plan out everything, they lose some of that spontaneity. And I tried to be like, hey, you know, let's one night, let's just wander and find our own place. Well, Elizabeth had her kids, and her kids are really picky eaters, these guys, this one especially, and they're really picky eaters, and so she wanted to make sure that she could feed them, you know. But it's just, you lose something. Anyway, hang on one second, I'm loading the whip. I have some ground up herb that I have absolutely no idea what it's called because I ground it probably on my last day before the Rome trip. But you know, here's something that bothered me about my family. And I'm not kidding when I say this. The entire trip, my family never asked me anything about myself. You know, we always talked about my sister and her family. My sister ran all the conversations, you know. Nobody ever once turned to me and said, so, how are you doing? How's life in California? What are you doing? You know, they think that just because I don't have a career that my life has no worth. You know, and my sister's always trying to prove her superiority over me. Like I said, I have a proposition for you. And she goes, you mean a proposal? And I was like, yeah. And she would laugh and make a joke. And it's like, what? You understood what I meant. Anyway, I have to say the stupidest thing that she did was say that a bird was my soulmate. A bird flew to the window of the restaurant that we were eating and sat on the ledge. And she goes, oh, look, there's Solitary Toker's soulmate, a seagull. Okay. Cheers. I'm showing my nose. My nose is really itchy because I put some like Vaseline kind of stuff on it. What you got, Zook? And there it is. Bye-bye. Leave it, leave it, leave it. Hi. What you got, Zookies? What you got? You got your ball? You got your ball. You want me to throw it? Okay. She's so cute. Get it. Get the ball. Get the ball. See if I can show you. Oh. Oh. Hi, Sadie. Hi, Sadie. Yeah. Oh. 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 Aren't they cute? My dogs missed me, and I missed them. Well, this has been a token... Oh, really? This has been a token chat from the Solitary Toker. Peace, love, ganja.